Daniel here. This is Blather 1049. Bible. Okay. Genesis chapter 4. And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. Genesis chapter 4, verses 1 and 2. I'll read it again. And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived, and bare Cain, and said, I've gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. Okay. Now Adam's the first man, and Eve's his wife, made from his rib. And Adam knew her. They had sexual relations, and she became pregnant. She had a child called Cain, and then later she had a child called Abel. 2 boys. In Genesis 5, we see that Adam has sons and daughters. Chapter 5, verse 4. And the days of Adam after he had begotten Seth for 800 years, and he begat sons and daughters. So Adam had sons and daughters. He had daughters as well, did Adam. Sons and daughters. So, these are the only people talked about as having been created in the beginning. It doesn't talk about any other families. In the Bible, that's all there is, Adam and Eve. It says mankind is made in our image in Genesis 1:26, but all we get is Adam and Eve to start with. So apparently, the understanding is generally that there's daughters there, and to start with, the idea of incest between brothers and sisters is not part of humanity yet. It doesn't come until later on in history. Leviticus 18, Leviticus 20 for Israel, no brothers and sisters doodle-daddling. Before then, apparently not an issue. Not as big a deal. And that's for Israel as well, for the priestly nation. So Cain has a wife. We see that Cain has a wife. And I don't know if Abel has a wife. It doesn't really say. But Cain has a wife later, presumably his sister. People always, where's Cain's wife? His sister, I guess. Potentially even, depending on when he married and depending on the age of the other children, potentially even a niece. Potentially. So he had a job, did Cain, and so did Abel. The world is new. There ain't a McDonald's down the street corner to get a burger from. It's just nature. Out the shack window, if it had even a window yet, out the shack door, it's just raw nature. They got to do something with the land itself. They're basic farmers. Earth farmers. Natural terra world earth farmers. Salt of the earth farmers. The basics of humanity. Abel's taking care of sheep. Cain's farming vegetables by the looks of it. Tiller of the ground. He's farming vegetables and fruits by the looks of it. Stuff like that. Garden sort of material. So humanity has been made by God. God's made Adam and he's made Eve. He's kicked them out of the Garden of Eden. Out you go. Get a real job, son. You have to work for a living. The work they're doing is, farming the land, getting society started with the basic food stuff we always need as Noahides, we always need as Adamites, we always need as human beings. We need food. The vegetables we need, Cain's veggies we need, Abel's lamb chops we need as well. And that's what we consume. That's our human diet. In Genesis 9 we see for the meat, the meat's okay. Drain the blood. Get rid of the blood. It's the life of the creature. No blood in Genesis 9. But the meat's okay. Probably supposed to cook. Not really a Noahide law or rule, but you're probably supposed to cook the meat. It's generally what we do. So there it is, the early part of humanity, Adam and Eve, they made family, and the family's getting its focus on getting its food, because the human body, which Adam and Eve have found themselves in, needs food. It needs liquid, and it needs food. So to start with, God's kicked them out, but he hasn't let go of them. He's still got his hand on humanity, and they're doing the things that they know that they need to do. They're not making stupid decisions by drawing pentagrams on cave walls, worshipping the devil, and entering into suicide pacts and things like that. Not yet, anyway. Later on in history, funny people have funny ideas. But at that point, feed me. They get the grub under control, and humanity has got most of its sense intact in what it's doing. It's taking care of the food situation. There's rivalry, of course, which comes, and Cain knocks off Abel and is booted away from the Lord out into the land of Nod, where he wanders and gets to mark Cain. But even then, he knew what he was doing. He got a city started in his son's name and still went on with the general job of life. So that's what it's teaching there in some ways. Genesis 4, 1 and 2, Take care of the food situation, Noahide. Make sure your children have a job and that the job gets money, usually in this day and age, in this era, to get your food. You can't live without your food. Genesis 4, 1 and 2 is saying food. You got to have it. Make sure your children know how to get it. Amen.